Right. Good morning, everyone. All the online students, is that the screen is visible? All the online students, could you please everyone respond in the chat window? I request all the online students need to respond in the chat window. Okay, right. Perfect, guys. Let's get started then. So the one we have been discussing about this particular playwright automation. As part of that particular playwright automation, which we have been understanding basic level of the program, and then we got advanced level of, medium level of the program. Now we need to continue these particular advanced programs. So now we need to be get continued these particular advanced programs here. Okay. So if I'm just taking with this particular perspective of advanced program, right. If I'm just take with this particular advanced program, the first program we need to understand that window handlers. So just write with the new heading, mention that window handlers. All the online students also just write with the new heading, mention that window handlers. Right. Write the small description. Navigate from one window to another window. Navigate from one window to another window. Just write the small description. Okay. Right. See that. First, we'll understand that what exactly mean by this particular window handler. Now, as part of this HRMS application, in this particular HRMS application, we are not having, okay. So while working this particular HRMS application, we are not having any functionality related to multiple windows. Because of that particular reason, we created small HTML file applications for the practice purpose. For the practice purpose, we have been created the small HTML application. So that particular HTML application, I'm just uploading. That particular HTML applications, I'm uploading in your respective Google Drive. So what exactly the applications are there? I'm just uploading in this particular Google Drive. So what you guys need to be do is, as it is, you need to download this particular HTML file. You doesn't require to go with any installation. You doesn't require to go with any installation. Just you need to be get download that particular HTML file. Once you download, go with the right click. Once you done with the right click, you can use with the option mention with open with. It will be taking with the right click. Open with, it will be taking with Chrome. open with, it will be taking with Chrome. So then it will open on the browser. It can be any browser, Chrome browser, Firefox browser, whatever you are comfortable, you can go with any of that particular browser. Okay. Now, see the understanding. First understanding, this is nothing but one browser got open. One browser got open. In that browser, one tab got open. In that particular tab, we open the application. Don't be confused at all, guys. See the concept here. If I'm just taking with this particular one, first we got considering that one particular browser. First we got consider one particular browser. In that particular respective browser, we got tab. In that particular tab, we got a page. Nothing but indirectly we got to open that particular application. Now it can be tab or it can be window. According to the automation, both are same. Now this is one tab or we can consider as a one window. Now if I click on window 2, if I click on that particular window 2, it got open. Second tab, second window got open. If I click on window 3, third window got open. That means we are having multiple tabs are there, multiple windows are there. For the first time, itself, it is not opening with the multiple tabs. First, it is open one particular application. Once it got open one particular application, then it will be clicking on window 2, second window got open, window 3, third window got open. Okay, done. Let's see here. Now, if I'm just taking with this particular one, now the concept you have to understand is I'm clicking on the button. All the online students, please be more active. Try to understand the concept. I'm clicking on the button. Once we got click on the button, immediately it's need to be get open new tab. This new tab is opened in the same browser or another browser? Online students. Once I click on that particular button, is it got open on the same browser or another browser? Right. Same browser. That means whenever we are writing with the program, we need to perform the two things at the same time. Two things at the same time. Click on the button. Clicking on the button and waiting for this window. So here, this browser has to wait until this tab got open. Again, I'll click on window 3. The browser has to wait until this tab 3 got open here. That means waiting for the browser and opening the tab. Two things we need to perform at the same time. According to our understanding, if you want to perform two steps at same time, how we can do that? What is the concept we can use it? If we want to get perform two steps at the same time in playwright, what is the concept we can use it? What is the concept we can use it, guys? Exactly. Promise.all. Promise.all. So which it will be taking with promise.all. Because in this particular promise.all, we are doing the two things here. That is, which it will be mentioning that wait for browser, wait for which I will be taking with that particular browser, and then it will be taking with the click. Both the things it's need to be get performed together. Okay. Once it's done with the click activity, once it has been see for the first time only one browser, one window. But once I done with the click activity, we got a two tabs here, more than one particular tab. As we got more than one particular tab, which it will be taking with the help of array concept, because we have more than one tab. So whenever you got any requirement of, whenever we got any requirement of, right. So whenever we got any requirement of, it will be taking with more than one particular tab. It will be taking with the help of that particular array concept, which it will be taking with that particular respective of array concept here. Okay. In that, it will be taking with promise all, one concept, because our requirement is not like an individual. Both the things it has to perform in it together. If I'm clicking on the button, if I clicking on the button, wait activity for first browser and opening with the new tab. Two different things. First browser is wait activity and it is opening with the second tab. Two different things, two different things at the same time it has to perform. Because of that, it's not like once I click on the button in the same page, if window 2 is open, then we doesn't require promise dot all. But it is not loading the page. I mean, the window 2 is not opening on the same page. It is opening with the one more tab. That is how we are taking with promise dot all. And after that, now this is a third window. Third window too, I need to navigate to first window. It can be first window or it can be second window. Any window you want to navigate. Any window you want to navigate, you will be taking with predefined method name, mention that bring to front. Bring to front. So bring to front is one particular predefined method to activate to activate particular window. To activate particular window, or it will be taking with tab. Now you can see in one single program what are the concepts we are using. We are using the method name of bring to front. So why we are using the bring to front? Now if I'm taking with this particular execution window 3, from window 3, I need to navigate to window 1. I have to switch. To switch, I will be taking with this particular method name of bring to front. Then it will activate that particular window. Okay. So bring to front array and then taking with promise all. All these particular concept we are using in one program. Apart from that, to get understand this program in more clear way, let's see here. To understand this particular program, let's see that. Okay. Done. Now, see the understanding. This is browser. Okay. First, this is a browser. And this is page. Okay. And this is tab, tab 1, which I will be taking tab 1, and then tab 2, and then tab 3. Okay. These particular three things. According to the programming, according to our manual terminology, according to the manual terminology, we can say that tab, or we can say that window. When it's come to the programming terminology, when it's come to the programming terminology, it will be taking with context. So when it's come to the programming terminology, it will be taking with context. If I'm taking with that particular context, or if I'm taking with this particular new context, which it will be considering that one particular tab. So I mean, as part of programming, if you want to open with the new tab, that it will be taking with new context. See the terminologies. We got in a browser, we got in a context, we got in a page. If I'm taking with the connectivity, if I'm taking with the connectivity, first it will be taking with the browser. From the browser, it will be taking with the context. From the context, it will be taking with the page. From the page, it will be taking with promise.all. From that promise.all, it will be taking with that particular array. From that particular array, it will be taking with bring to friend. Bring to friend. This is how you are using all the required terminologies as part of this particular program. That means first you need to recognize the new browser. In that particular new browser, you will open the tab. In that particular tab, you will open the page. Then you will be taking the promise all. Then you will be taking with the arrays. Then you will be taking with that particular bring to friend. Now let's see that how exactly it will be working these particular statements here. Let's look into that how we can write that particular respective programs here. Okay. So as usual, first we will be taking with. So first we will be taking with this particular 77 test folder. It will be taking with open in integrated terminal. Okay. And then it will be taking with the right click and new file. It will mention that new file, providing that particular file name, providing that particular file name. If I'm just taking with this particular respective of file name. If I'm just taking with this particular file name, okay, tc underscore window handler, tc underscore window handler dot, it will be taking spec dot ts. Okay, done. See that how we are writing the program. As usual, first I will be taking with import, that I will be taking with the test model from playwright. Okay. Then I will be taking with test method. As usual, I will be taking with that particular respective of window handler. Okay. Now I'm not using with the page. In a place of page, I'm taking with browser. In a place of page, I'm taking with that particular respective browser. Okay. Now you can see that you will be taking with this particular step. According to our understanding, first we are taking with the browser. In that particular browser, we are taking with the new context. As we clearly mentioned, one new context is equal to one tab. One new context is equal to one new tab. For easy understanding, I'm taking with tab 1. Now, in that particular tab 1, so first we are taking the browser. In that particular browser, you will be taking with that particular tab. In a tab, you will be taking with the page. Let's see here. Now I will be taking with, you will be mentioning that await tab 1 dot go to. In the tab 1, what is the URL I need to provide? I need to be get select that particular application URL. I need to be get select that particular application URL. Now we can see here, I need to be get provide this application URL. So with this, first window, first tab will get open. We are printing with the statement mentioning that console.log. It will be printing with the statement tab 1 is open. Tab 1 is open. For the confirmation, I will be taking with that particular await, which I will be taking with that particular wait for timeout. Okay, this is tab, right? Tab 1 dot wait for timeout. So here this browser is a predefined. How we work with previously, we work with the page. Previously, we provided with the page reference. In the same way, we are taking with this particular browser, which is in a predefined only. So everything we are working with the predefined. Now, for the browser, we inform that open the first tab. In the first tab, open the page. In that page, open the application. By this, first tab will get open. Okay. Once first tab got open, I need to click on window 2. To click on window 2, I'm having an ID. I'm just taking with ID. What is the tag name we got? Button. We got a tag name of button. Now if I click on window 2, second window will get open. If I click on window 2, second window got open. Now you can see here, right? Which I will be taking with second window. Let's see. Everything we are working with the test method only, guys. Everything test method. Now, I'm taking with constant tab 2, which have been taken with that particular perspective of array concept. I have been taken with, I mention in a square brackets. If I mention in the square brackets, it will consider as a array. It will consider as a array. Now see how we written the logic of promise dot all. Context. Context means your actual browser, your main browser. It has to wait for main browser, that page. Along with that, it's need to be click on that particular button too. So let me give the locate details to forward slash. We got in a tag name button ID equal to button 2. It will perform the click activity. Once it has been performed that particular click activity, we are saying that tab 2 is open. And then it will be mentioning that it will be taking with that particular tab 2 dot wait for timeout. Wait for timeout. So which will be taking with that particular tab 2 dot wait for timeout. Okay. See here. Don't be confused at all, guys. Concept is very simple. Concept is very simple. The regular approach only. It's not like any new things we have been doing, which you will be taking with, you will be having it here. Okay. Right. So now, if I'm just taking with these particular steps. Now, after second window, now we are clicking on third window, window 3. That I will be taking tab 3. Same concept. Tab 3 also. Again, we are waiting for the main page and then clicking on button 3. Button 3 got open and waiting for that particular button 3. Now what I have to do? First is tab 1, then tab 2, then tab 3. Now we are in the tab 3. Once we are in the tab 3, I'm just mentioning that navigate to first tab. Navigate to first tab. Okay, so further to navigate to the first tab, as usual, it will be mentioning that tab 1 dot bring to front. Then again, it will be taking with tab 1 dot wait for timeout. I'll print with the statement, it will be mentioning that tab 1 is active. Tab 1 is active. Okay. After that, I need to be get navigate to tab 2. I need to be get navigate to second tab. Then I'm taking tab 2 dot bring to front. Which tab we want to activate, which tab we want to be get activate, you will be taking that particular name and you will be using the method name of bring to front. Okay. See the whole program now. First, we have in a browser. In the browser, you're taking with the main context. See the understanding. Because this is the main blue color browser. In that, you are taking with the new context. One new context is equal to one new tab. From the context, you are taking with the page. That is what we written here. So from the context, we will be taking with the page. In the page, it got open the first URL. Okay. Then it has been clicking on button 2, I mean window 2. It will open the second window and it will be waiting for main page together. Window 2 got open. Then window 3. Once window 3 got open, we are navigating to first window, then navigating to second window. See the execution, then you will get in a more clear picture how exactly it is working. While executing with the program, see the navigation, then you will get more clear picture. NPX, you will be taking with playwright. NPX, you will be taking with that particular perspective of playwright. Okay. Then you will be taking with NPX playwright test file name TC underscore. You will be taking with wait statement dot spec dot ts. Oh, window handlers, right? Oh. Window handler dot spec dot ts. Then you will be taking with headed mode. So this is what we need to be get understand that. Let's see here. Okay. Right. So this is array, guys. Whenever you mention in a square brackets, I mentioned tab 3 in a square bracket, tab 2 in a square bracket. But tab 1 I have not mentioned in the square bracket because for the first time, if I open the application, only one window, we doesn't require an array. But if I click on the button in the same browser, we got two tabs here. We required an array. That is the reason I mentioned the square brackets, which it will be taking with array. Okay. See the execution. See the execution, very easily can understand it, how it is executing. First, open the application. Second window got open. Third window got open. Navigate to first window. Then navigate to second window. Then close the browser. Okay, so everything is working. First tab 1 is open, tab 2 got open, tab 3 got open. Then it has navigated to tab 1, then it has been taken is tab 2. That means while working with the real time, as part of that particular program requirement, in case if we got a requirement of navigating from one window to another window, then you will be taking with the help of these particular concepts here. So in this way, we can go with in handling with multiple windows here. Let me execute the program once again. I'm just executing with the program once again. See that. We have not written the close, guys. For every program playwright, we are already mentioned. Close automatically will be done. We doesn't require to write in a code again related to the close. Now, first window, this is the first window. Second window, see the number. Third window, and then navigate to first window. Now navigate to the second window and close the window. So this is how you will be working with window handler. So while working with the real time, is it mandatory these many things need to work? It depends. It depends on the project requirement. It's based on your test steps here, manual test step. But as part of the learning, we need to comfortable with every functionality. You need to be get comfortable how exactly we can get automate every functionality. That is what we need to be get clear on that, which need to be able to get automate every functionality. So this is what it will be taking with that particular one program. It will be mentioning that it will be taking with this particular perspective of which I will be taking with window handler. Okay, right. In the same way, right. In the same way, we need to be get go with another concept. That is what we will be taking with window handler. Sorry, next one is web table. Previously, what is the concept we done? Window handler. First, I got open only tab 1. How the array concept is working, don't be confused, guys. It will be taking a equal to 10. This is okay. But if I'm taking with a equal to 20, comma 30, the statement will be working. If I mention with the second statement, the second statement will be working. No, it will give an error because according to the programming, in one variable, it will accept only one value. In case if I want to access this, I need to take with the help of array. If I'm taking with the array, then it will be working. If I'm taking array, I can assign 2 values, 3 values, 10 values. So how many values I want to assign? I can assign that many values. The same concept we applied in this window handler program. When I'm working with the tab 1, it is only one window. But if I click on the window 2, second window got open. That means two windows got open. Two windows I need to assign. Two windows I need to assign. That is the reason I have been taken with this particular arrays concept here. So that is how we have been used it, arrays. Okay, right. So now write with the new heading, guys. Write with the new heading, mention that web table. Write with the new heading, web table. So we are working with advanced program. As part of that particular advanced program, we got in a window handler, one program. Another one, it will be taking with web table. If I'm just taking with this particular web table, so this is, you can mention that, write the small description, displaying the data, displaying the data in table format on web page. Displaying with the data in table format on web page. Displaying with the data, displaying the data in table format on web page. Okay. So what exactly the meaning of this particular statement? What is the meaning of this particular statement is, let's consider our application only. We got this particular login. Once you done with the login, able to see data displayed in the table format, all the online students, you're able to see displaying with the data in a table format. Yes, this is will be taking with the data displaying in the table format. Displaying the data in table format. Now, according to the terminology, this whole highlighted one we can consider as a one web table. Meaning of web table, meaning of web table, displaying the data in table format. Displaying the data in table format. Okay. Right. So now, for our easy understanding, for the purpose of easy understanding, we are taking with the help of another HTML application. Another HTML application have been already uploaded in that particular Google Drive. I'm just open with Chrome. I just open with the Chrome. This is one web table. In this particular web table, we need to perform all the required actions here. What are the things we can do? What are the things we can perform? Let's see here. While working this particular web table, while working within the web table, we can retrieve count. While working within the web table, we can uh, we can retrieve count. One option. Another option, retrieve data. While working within the web table, mainly we can perform two things here. One, it will be taking with retrieving with the data, and then taking with in retrieving with that particular count. Okay. Retrieving with the data, retrieve the data, we can retrieve row count. We can retrieve column count. We can retrieve row and column. See the understanding? If I'm taking with the count, we can retrieve row count, we can retrieve column count, and we can retrieve row and column. In the same way, we need to be get retrieve data. In the same way, we need to be get retrieve the data. So retrieving with the data, we need to retrieve data from particular cell. Retrieve the data from particular cell. And then you will be taking with from whole table. If I'm just taking with, we can go with retrieve the count. Retrieve the count. Retrieve data from particular table and then retrieve data from particular table and then you will be taking with retrieve data from whole table. So how we can do that? Same. Retrieving with the count, you will be using predefined method name that you will be taking with the count. You will be using predefined method name that you will be taking with count. Count is a predefined method which has been used to retrieve count of the table. Either it can be row count or you will be taking with the column count or which you will be taking with row and column. It can be any of the count you will be taking with this particular respective of count method. In the same way, you will be taking with in retrieving that particular respective of data here, which to retrieve this particular data. With to retrieve this particular data, you will be taking with the method name that you will be taking with test context. Text content. Using with the method name that you will be taking with text content or you will be taking with inner text. First we can try text context. After that we can try that particular inner text here. That is what you will be taking with these particular two methods, which I will be taking with that particular two methods here. It will be taking with these particular respective steps here. One, it will be taking with count method. One, it will be taking with text to context or it will be taking with inner text. Okay. Now, while working count method, how count method is understanding. How exactly count method is understanding? Either it has to retrieve row count or column count or row and column. So how this particular count method is understanding? Either need to go with row count or taking with the column count or taking with row and column. So how it is understanding? That it will depends on the way of XPath provided. So what exactly the XPath have been provided? Based on that particular XPath, it will understand that what is the count it has to retrieve. In the same way, while working data also, it depends on that particular XPath. So while working that particular data also, it will depends on that particular respective of XPath. Based on that particular XPath, it will understand what exactly that particular one it will be required. Okay, so this is what I will be mentioning that which I will be taking with these particular respective steps here. So in this way, we can go with and utilizing these particular steps here. Okay, right. Let's see here. Let's look into this. Right. So which it will be able to go with these particular steps here. Okay. So one is retrieving the count, another one retrieving with the data. Now let's look into that, how exactly we can go with these particular things. How we can write in a program, let's look into that. Okay. Now let's look into that in writing with the program. First, I will be taking with the test new file. Mention that TC I will be taking with WebTable dot spec dot ts. WebTable dot spec dot ts. As usual, first I will be taking with import and then I will be taking with the test from playwright. Okay. Then I will be writing that particular test method, which I will be taking with that particular test method. Now we are using page. We are using that particular page. Okay. As usual, I will be taking with test step. First, I need to be get open the application. I need to be get provide application URL. I need to be get provide that particular application URL. Okay. Once we got provide application URL, now I need to be get go with that particular count. So that particular count I'm taking with the let, I will be taking with row count. I will be taking with row count. Now we are using with the method name is count. Once we retrieve the row count, we are assigning to the variable and we are printing that particular row count. But it's totally depends on the XPath. Now you can see how we got XPath option. So how we got XPath. I'm trying with one of our regular option. First is inspect, taking with the right click and then copy XPath. I'm using with the option is copy XPath. If I click on that particular copy XPath, if I click on that particular copy XPath, what is the option it will provide? It will provide relative XPath. I'm just providing that particular relative XPath. I'm just providing that relative XPath. Now, understand with the logic, guys. If I'm referring with the table, how many rows we have in this table? How many rows we got? Okay. So if I'm just taking with this particular one, it will be mentioned that we got 7 rows. It's not like 6, guys. I'm talking about row, not columns. We have in a 7 rows. That means if I'm executing this particular program, I need to able to get in a row count as a 7. Let me run the program and we'll see that how we are getting with the result. NPX, it will be taking playwright test TC underscore WebTable dot spec dot ts, and then you will be taking headed mode. So if I run this particular program, we need to be get that particular count is 7. Let's see that what is the count it has been retrieving. We got an account. See the count. What is the count it has been given? 1. So why it has been giving with the 1? See the concept, guys. All the online students understand the concept. Why it is giving the count is 1 is count method depends on what is the X path you return. So what you are informing to the playwright, go to this table, go to this P body and navigate to 7th row and navigate to the 4th column and then take the count. You clearly mentioned that navigate to the 7th column, navigate to the 4th column, and then take with the count here. That means how the logic is understanding. First navigating to the 7th row. This is the 7th row. Sorry. From the 7th row, it is navigating to 4th column. From the 7th row, it is navigating to that particular 4th column. Okay. So it is navigating to the 7th row and then taking with 4th column. That means indirectly it has been identified this particular individual cell. Indirectly it has been identified this particular individual cell. Because of that, it has been giving count as a 1. But our requirement is we need to get count as a 7. That means we have to clearly inform to the playwright to consider only that particular row count here. So how exactly we can consider that particular row count here? See that. You will be taking with this particular one, which I will be taking with these things here. First, I'm removing with the column because I required only row count. I doesn't require a column count. Because of that, I just removed that particular column. Then, if I mention tier of 7, it will consider only 7th row. Or if I mention tier of 1, it will consider only first row. But my requirement, all the rows here, in that particular table, how many rows are there? It's need to be get consider all the rows here. So that I will be taking with this particular one. I just mentioned only TR. So by that, in this particular table, TR means table row. How many rows are there? That many count it will be providing. In the same way, we need to go with column count and then taking with row and column. So here I will be taking with, in mentioning that, I will be taking with column. Then it will be taking with row underscore column. So how we are providing with the X path? See here. For column count, refer the table. First row, how many columns we got? In the first row, how many columns we got? Right. So if I'm just taking with that particular first row, we got in a 4 columns. Okay. And then if I'm taking with that particular last row, how many columns we got? 4 columns. So it can be any kind of that particular row. So it can be any kind of that particular row. We got that particular. It can be any kind of row. We got that particular four columns. Because of that, we can mention navigate to any of the row and get the column count. Directly, I cannot mention the TD because without having with the row, you cannot get a column. Without having with the row, you cannot get a column, which I will be taking with this particular one. I will be mentioning that I'm just mentioning tier of one. Navigate to first row and then taking with that particular column. Then you will be taking with TR and TD, row and column. Both the things need to be done. In the same way, you will be taking with in printing that particular column count. First, we are able to retrieve row count and then column count, and then you will be taking with row and column. In the same way, now we need to retrieve data. We need to retrieve data. Data from as an example, I just mentioned that second column, second row and second column. As an example, I mentioned need to retrieve data from second row. Second row means this is the second row, second column. I mean, we are retrieving with the data from any one particular cell. So any one particular cell is a very straightforward. Any one particular cell is a very straightforward. Retrieving data from any one particular cell that we will be taking with having this particular one. So this is, it will be mentioning that it will be taking with any one particular cell. Okay. So we mention tier of 2, TD of 2. It will find the cell and then retrieve the data text to context. And then it's need to be get print that particular data. Done. Now, finally, mention that data from whole table. We need to begin go with data from whole table. See the requirement now. Requirement is first I will be taking with first row, taking with the data. Second row, hold the data. Third row, it will be taking with the whole data. Fourth row, it will be taking with the whole data. So how many rows are available? You need to be get go with that many rows here. So in this way, it will be taking with this particular whole data here. Okay. So this will be mentioned. We need to iterate each and every row. As we need to iterate each and every particular row, as usual, it will be taking with for loop concept, which it will be taking with that particular for loop. So now you can understand how we are utilizing all the programming concepts what we discuss in the TypeScript. As part of that particular programming, we need to be get comfortable in utilizing that particular required concept. It will be taking with that particular for loop. Okay. As usual, I will be taking with the let mentioning that I equal to 1. I less than or equal to row count because we already retrieve row count. By that, in that particular table, how many rows are there? That many rows, it will continue the data. Then I'm taking with row data, which I'm taking with row data. See how we are writing with the logic. According to our regular concept, here, if I'm taking with the I, What is the meaning of the I as part of the syntax? As part of the programming syntax, what is the terminology of I for this program? Online students. Exactly. I has been considered as a variable. I is considered as a variable. Okay. We return the X path. In general, we got an X path. This is an X path. This is relative X path. In this relative X path or for relative X path, I need to pass a variable. See the concept, guys. See the concept. We return the X path. For that particular X path, we are passing the variable. Now you can understand the importance of the X path. In this program, based on the program requirement, we are customizing with the X path. That means according to our program requirement, we are customizing that particular X path. Okay, that we will be taking with how we are customizing is I want to pass in a variable. Directly, if I'm giving an I, it cannot understand. The X path cannot understand that it is a variable. For that purpose, first square brackets. In a X path, whenever you want to pass in a variable, first we will be taking with the square brackets. Then you will be taking with the double quotes. Within a double quotes, that you will be taking with the plus symbol. Within a plus symbol, you will be taking with I. Within a plus symbol, you will be taking with I. So now XPath will understand this is an XPath. Inside of XPath, we got an a variable. For the first time, I value will be 1. It will understand tier of 1. From the total row, it will take the data. Then I value will increment it. Then it will be taking with I value will be 2. Then it will understand second row. Then it will be taking with all that particular data. So in this way, it's need to be get mentioned that it will be taking with this particular perspective of web table. Now see the whole concept here. First, we imported test model. We created the test method. We got to open the application. We are retrieving row count. Then we are retrieving column count. Then we are retrieving row and column. We are retrieving row and column. Then we will be taking with data from. Then we are taking with data from particular row, particular row and column, nothing but particular cell. Then data from whole table. So let's see that how it will be working. Let's look into that. I'm just executing. It's need to be able to print that particular row count. Now we can see here, row count is 7, column count is 4, row and column 28, data from particular set C++ and the data from the whole table. See here, it is able to retrieve the data, but that data is not printing in a proper table format. To print in a proper table format, I'm just using another method. We got two methods. One is text to context. Another one it will be taking with inner text, which it will be taking with inner text. I mean, inside of that particular row, whatever the data is there, it's need to be get retrieve that particular data. Now we can see how it will be working. Right. So which will be taking with that particular one. So now it's need to be get able to print all the data. Picking with 7, row count 7, column count is 4, row and column data from particular cell and the data from whole table. So in a table, whatever the data is there, it is printing that particular whole data. So in real time, is it mandatory we need to work with the web table? That it will depends on it. But as part of interview, it's mandatory that all the concepts you need to be get comfortable. As part of learning and as part of interview, you need to be get comfortable with all these particular concepts here. So in the same way, we need to be get understand another program that we will be taking Excel. We are learning all the advanced programs here. Once we complete advanced program, then we'll be completing with the part 1. After that, we'll be getting started with part 2, which you will be completing that particular part 1. Then you will be taking with this particular part 2 here. So in this way, we need to be get able to get provide this particular one. So in this way, we need to be get working with this particular concept. So tomorrow, I will be taking with that particular aspect of part 2 here. After that, we'll be taking with some more advanced programs are there that will be looking into that. So you guys need to be get increase your practice time, guys, because as we moved into the advanced concept, you need to be get take with the more practice, because once we done with the part 1, we need to start with the part 2, part 2 of our training program. So before getting started, part 2 of the training program, you need to be get go with in spending with that particular more time here. Okay? Clear everyone? Right. Any questions? You guys can carry on your questions. Yes, Ritesh, you can carry on your question. Ritesh, you have a question? Okay. Yes, Leela, you can carry on your question.
Asynchronous of page and browser in the program.
No. Repeat your question.
Inside a program, what is the difference between asynchronous of page and asynchronous of browser? Handling this Windows, we are using the browser.
See, as simple as if you are working with the only one particular window, one particular page, then you will be taking with this particular direct page reference only. Because this page reference at a time it will communicate with only one page. Okay, and that is one browser, one window. In case if you got a requirement of multiple tabs at the same time, then you will be taking with the help of the browser here. Okay.
We are passing the address of that particular page URL. But handling the Windows, no need to provide this address.
This URL you will get, that is the reason I given HTML files, right? I provided the HTML files in the Google Drive. You need to download that particular HTML files, and then you will be getting taken with the right click and open with browser. When you open the browser, in browser you will be getting an URL. That URL you need to provide in the program. Okay?
No, we directly return whatever you directly return that window to the just open that code.
So what is the question here?
Now I understand. No, no.
Okay.
Just directly window. So the names are in that window.
Okay.
Not the address. Fine.
Next. All right, guys. No more other questions, right? Okay, then. Please take care about the more practice, guys. Please increase with the practice time. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.